Hello, and welcome to another episode of Reviews in a Rabbit Onesie, the show in which I, Dan Leith, review things in a rabbit onesie. Drove all night to get to you. Is that alright? I drove all night to murder you. No, wait, that's not right. Or maybe it is, because this week, the two movies that we're putting head to head are two films about killer vehicles, both written by Stephen King, and both very special in their own ways. Which brings us to movie number one. 1983's Christine, based on the novel by Stephen King, directed by the wonderful John Carpenter. The plot of this film is basically about a young man called Arnold who gets into a love triangle between his girlfriend and a haunted 1958 Plymouth Fury. That's a synopsis for you. So this movie opens beautifully with some sexy car revving. I don't even like cars that much. But Christine is a beautiful car. I'd take her out for a test drive. Sorry. But the movie opens on Christine being made in the old Plymouth Fury factory. Bad to the bone. Seems like she's already up to no good. Bad to the bone. Slamming her hood down on people's fingers. And asphyxiating a bloke in the front seat. So fast forward to the 80s, where we meet the protagonist Arnold, who's a bit of a geek in that classic filmmaking sense that they've given him big glasses, gets packed lunches from his mum, and doesn't seem to possess the ability to walk around puddles. Anyway, you get the picture. He's terrible with women, he's a virgin. There's a lot of quite offensive juvenile dialogue between the lads at the start of this film. Real choice lines like, she looks smart, but she's got the body of a slut. Nice lads. Nice. Arnie also gets picked on by the school bully. Come on. Who's clearly been held back 20 years or so.
Come on. You want to go for it?
Because he's like fucking 40.
I'll fix you!
In what world are we supposed to believe they're children? So Arnie's life isn't great until he drives past the old ruin of Christine. He's mysteriously instantly taken with the car, so much so that he even buys it from one of the creepiest men in the world. I mean, never buy a car from a guy who looks like this. Or who says this. Finest smell in the world, apart from pussy. Blah, boke. Anyway, Arnie buys the car, he starts fixing it up. His mum is a real bitch about it, and not that great an actress. Everyone wonders why he's so taken with the car, and he gives the killer response. For the first time in my life, I found something uglier than me, which is a great line. The film is about love and obsession. It has lots of subtext about coming of age. It's already clever, although done a lot better in the book, which has less ham-fisted dialogue. The movie continues. Christine gets very jealous of anyone that comes in between her and Arnie, to deadly results. John Carpenter does a great job directing this for the most part. There's some great filmmaking in here. Beautiful shots of cars. There's something really satisfying about a car fixing itself. Metal folding and unfolding. I love how Christine communicates using old rock and roll songs from the 50s. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. It's a nice touch. The soundtrack in general is pretty bitchin'. Bad to the bone, bad to the bonnet. I mean, it's a bit of an out there concept. It's kind of like Brom on crack. Things I didn't like about this movie: casting 40-year-old men as school kids. There's not a scene where a girl is choking and someone gives her the most sexually charged Heimlich maneuver I've ever seen in my life. And a lot of the time that Christine is chasing people, they never seem to get out of the way. Don't just run down the middle of the road, you 40-year-old twat. What did I learn from this movie? I learned that fellatio is pretty good on a triple word score in Scrabble, and I learned never to take a shit on the dashboard of a possessed car. So if you like 50s rock and roll, teen drama, possessed cars, cars getting smashed. How many cars did they total for this? Anyway, maybe give Christine a go. Parts are really spooky and well done. Other parts are daft and fun. The book is much better than the film though. 3 out of 5 haunted honks. Which brings us to movie number 2, 1986's Maximum Overdrive. Now this is the first movie that Stephen King ever directed. It's also the only movie he ever directed because it's a hot mess. The movie starts with some exposition about a comet passing by the Earth. Then Stephen King appears doing a wee cameo. He plays a guy who goes to a cash machine and it calls him an asshole.
This machine just called me an asshole!
Then a drawbridge decides to open while all the cars are parked on it. People fall off motorbikes. Fly through windshields. Man falls off the bridge making the weirdest fucking noise. Vehicles get totaled. And watermelons are just flying everywhere. That's a way to start a film. Hang on, is that an AC/DC tour bus on the bridge? It is, because they also did the whole soundtrack, which is bitchin'. So the premise of this movie is basically all of the machinery on Earth has turned against humans. Cash machines, gambling machines, electric carving knives, and all of the vehicles trying to kill all the people. But it basically boils down to Emilio Estevez facing off against a truck that has a massive green goblin face. Incredible. This movie is fucking crazy. It's nuts. There's a scene with a kid's baseball game gets ruined by a killer soda machine.
No sodas.
Firing cans at their coach. Just firing cans at the kid. Some kid falls off his bike. And then a steamroller comes in and just gets flattened. It might be interesting at this juncture to state that Stephen King had a bit of a problem with cocaine at the time. Why don't we have a kid get steamroller? And everyone is like, yeah, sure, have some more cocaine, Steve. And to make the movie even weirder, Yardley Smith, Yardley, it's a weird name, it's not my fault, who is the voice of Lisa Simpson, is one of the main characters in this film. Imagine listening to the voice of Lisa Simpson being chased by a killer truck to the music of AC/DC.
What is going on?
I don't know!
Have some more cocaine, Steve. Obviously, the music is awesome. Unless you don't like AC/DC, then this movie is probably not for you. There's a hilarious love story with Emilio Estevez and some hitchhiking girl. She starts the conversation with,
Vroom, vroom.
You're cute. Not that cute.
and instantly calls him hero. In all fairness, that's about as deep as this movie gets, and about as deep as it needs to get. It's just daft shite, but kind of really enjoyable. I mean, there's a scene with an ice cream truck hunting a child. Have some more cocaine, Steve. And then there's a chase sequence with a lawnmower. Have some more cocaine, Steve. Like with Christine, there's a fair amount of people just not getting out of the way of vehicles trying to kill them. But in this movie, it grated on me a lot less. I think because it's so fucking dumb and either intentionally or unintentionally hilarious. I mean, every scene is like a gift. One that you're not sure you wanted and that you just can't return. But a gift. I mean, most of the action takes place at this truck stop, a Dixie boy. Trucks try to hold people hostage so that they can be refueled. You're treated to the best truck refueling montage you'll ever see in your life. And this scene.
We made them.
This performance.
You can!
This beautiful performance.
We made you!
Have some more cocaine. Steve.
We made you!
It's curt, at times very ugly, batshit crazy, over-the-top performances. The only way you could make this movie more ridiculous would be if you remade it and cast Nicolas Cage in all of the roles. And I would watch the shit out of that. This movie may not be for everyone. It was very much so slated. I think it's somewhat of an underrated gem of madness. Filmmakers like Robert Rodriguez really saw this film a lot and borrowed from it as well. I mean, even the trailer is nuts. Stephen King appears as himself,
My name is Stephen King.
talking about directing the movie.
If you want something done right, you ought to do it yourself.
Have some more cocaine, Steve.
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
Who says cocaine isn't a good substance to be heavily addicted to while you're asked to direct your first movie?
You know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
What did I learn from this film? I learned that sometimes trucks instantly explode when they hit grass. And if you're a Boy Scout, it's quite useful to get a merit badge in Morse code. It's not entirely clear what's happening by the end of the film. I think you find out it's aliens. That's what the exposition was about, the comet. I'm not sure. But that's Maximum Overdrive. Mad crack. Cocaine. 3 out of 5 haunted honks. Both films are very entertaining watches, but Christine the film isn't as good as the book. Maximum Overdrive is better than the short story Trucks it was based on. I'm going with the hot mess. Thank you for watching Reviews in a Rabbit Onesie. I've been Dan Leith. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. You can even give me money if you want me to keep making them. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay sane, and beep beep Richie. Sorry, that's the wrong Stephen King reference. Finn.